speak and the words that come out of your mouth have power, more power than you think. And Jesus knew that, and in knowing that, he spoke in a different manner and mindset than everyone else around him. And in this video, I'm going to teach you how you can speak more like Jesus. Now, I have here with me 3 valuable and important points, so you're going to want to stick to the end of the video. And with that brings me to point number 1, which is Jesus spoke with power. As we see in the Bible, Jesus performed many miracles, and in some of those miracles, he spoke those miracles into existence. In other words, he spoke with power. But when Jesus spoke with power, he was speaking with the knowledge that his Father was able to perform it. And for an example that Jesus really did this, I'm going to read the story of Lazarus, which is in John chapter 11. Now in this story, Lazarus was sick and he was dying. And Mary and Martha sent out that Jesus might come and pray for him so he could be healed. Now when Jesus arrived, Lazarus had been dead for some time, and Mary and Martha were crying over his tomb. And Jesus walked up to him and asked them, "Do you not believe that you should see the glory of God?" Then shortly after, he walked over to Lazarus' tomb and spoke with a loud voice, "Lazarus, come forth!" And immediately Lazarus rose from the dead. Now you can look at what Jesus did here as faith. I believe we should speak the same way as he did, in power, with faith, and speaking to our problems, knowing that God can change the situation that we're in. And with that, we're going to move on to point number 2, which is Jesus spoke the word. If you take a look at all of Jesus' words in the Bible, you see he referenced scripture verses from the Old Testament, and he had various purposes to do so, but the one we'll be looking at here today is he used it to fight back Satan. If you take a look in the Bible in Luke chapter 4 verses 1 through 13, you see that Jesus went to the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights to fast. And during that time, Satan attacked him with temptation 3 times to try to get him to break his fast. And Jesus, each of those times, attacked back with scripture. He quoted scripture to attack Satan back and won each time. Just as Jesus used scripture to attack back at Satan, we can too. If we get the scripture in our hearts, we can use it whenever the devil throws temptation our way. We can remind him of what scripture says and of what God says, and he will run from us. And now, let's hop over to point number 3, which is Jesus didn't let his situation affect his speech. As people, when a situation gets rough, we tend to let it affect our speech and talk about our problems. But really, we should be speaking life into our situation as Jesus did. Now there's a story in the Bible in Mark chapter 5 in which Jesus was asked by the ruler of the synagogue to pray for his daughter because she was on the verge of death. Now Jesus agreed to this and he went, but as he was going, he was held up to the point to where he got there and the girl was already dead. Now when he saw that, he asked them, "Why do you weep? The girl is not dead, but she's only asleep." See, Jesus was speaking life into the situation. Knowing that the girl was dead, he said she's only asleep because he knew that his words had power. And later on in the story, Jesus said, "Talitha cumi," which is interpreted, "Damsel, I say unto you, arise." And immediately she arose and walked. It is very important for us to speak like Jesus did in this story. See, as soon as we start talking about our situation, we start walking by the flesh and in doubt. But God can only move in our situation if we walk by the Spirit and in faith, which is a direct result of speaking life into your situation. See, now God can move in our situation, but he can also give us answers to our questions or problems that come up in our lives. And if you want to learn more about that, you should check out the video on the screen right now.